On April 2, 2025, a federal judge dismissed the corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The dismissal, a significant victory for Adams, came with the crucial distinction of being with prejudice. This legal term signifies that the prosecution is permanently barred from refiling the same charges against Adams based on the same alleged conduct. While this ruling would typically signal the end of legal troubles, the circumstances surrounding the dismissal have done little to quell the controversy surrounding the mayor and his administration. The dismissal, while welcomed by Adams and his supporters, has been met with a mix of skepticism and outrage from others. Critics argue that the dismissal, while legally sound, leaves unanswered questions about the mayor's conduct. The cloud of suspicion, they contend, could linger over Adams's administration and potentially impact his political future. The gravity of the situation is heightened by the fact that the dismissal was not based on a lack of evidence or procedural errors. Instead, it stemmed from a highly unusual move by the Department of Justice to drop the case. This decision, which went against the recommendations of career prosecutors, has raised concerns about political interference and the potential erosion of public trust in the justice system. The dismissal, while offering a legal reprieve for Adams, has ignited a firestorm of debate about its implications. The coming days and weeks will likely see intensified scrutiny of the mayor, his administration, and the Justice Department's handling of the case. This controversy, far from fading away, seems poised to remain a significant point of contention in the political landscape. The Justice Department's decision to dismiss the case was not met with passive acceptance. Judge Dale E. Ho, presiding over the case, delivered a scathing rebuke of the DOJ's rationale for seeking the dismissal. He characterized their arguments as unprecedented and breathtaking, suggesting a potential quid pro quo at play. Judge Ho's criticism centered around the DOJ's assertion that pursuing the case would hinder Adams's ability to enforce immigration policies. This argument, the judge contended, was entirely unsupported by evidence and raised serious concerns about the motives behind the dismissal. The suggestion of a quid pro quo, where Adams' cooperation with Trump's immigration agenda was exchanged for the dismissal of the corruption case, cast a dark shadow over the proceedings. Furthermore, Judge Ho expressed deep skepticism regarding the timing of the DOJ's decision. The move to dismiss the case came remarkably close to the mayoral election, prompting concerns about political interference. The judge's pointed criticism served as a stark reminder that the judiciary is not beholden to political pressure and will hold those in power accountable. The judge's sharp rebuke sent shockwaves through the legal and political spheres. His words carried weight, highlighting the irregularities surrounding the dismissal and fueling public distrust in the government's handling of the case. The implications of Judge Ho's criticism extend far beyond this particular case, raising broader questions about the integrity of the justice system and the potential for political influence. The Department of Justice, facing intense scrutiny for its decision to drop the charges against Mayor Adams, has maintained that its actions were justified. They presented three primary arguments to support their decision, all of which were ultimately rejected by Judge Ho. The DOJ argued that the case was politically motivated, brought too close to the mayoral election to be deemed fair, and interfered with Adams's ability to cooperate with the Trump administration's immigration agenda. Critics were quick to point out the weakness of these arguments. They argued that the timing of the case, while close to the election, did not negate the seriousness of the allegations. Additionally, the claim that the case hindered Adams's cooperation with immigration policies was seen as a thin veil for a politically motivated decision. The DOJ's decision to drop the case led to immediate repercussions within its ranks. Several high-ranking officials, including the acting U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York and other top prosecutors, resigned in protest. These resignations underscored the unusual nature of the DOJ's decision and further fueled the perception of political interference. Despite facing widespread criticism and internal dissent, the DOJ has stood by its decision. However, their justifications have failed to quell the controversy, leaving many unconvinced and raising further questions about the integrity of the justice system. The long-term impact of this decision on the DOJ's reputation and the public's trust in the institution remains to be seen. In the wake of the dismissal, Mayor Adams, visibly relieved, addressed the public, proclaiming his innocence and denouncing the charges as baseless. He asserted that the case should have never been brought and framed it as a politically motivated attack intended to derail his administration. While expressing gratitude for the outcome, Adams's demeanor remained cautious, acknowledging the potential for lingering damage to his reputation. In a move that surprised many, Adams held up a copy of Government Gangsters, a book written by Kash Patel, a former Trump administration official known for his staunch defense of the former president. Adams encouraged New Yorkers to read the book, suggesting it would provide context for the alleged politically motivated attacks against him. This gesture was widely interpreted as an attempt to align himself with Trump and his supporters, a strategy likely to resonate with some segments of the electorate but alienate others. While Adams stopped short of explicitly endorsing Trump or his policies, the message was clear. He viewed himself as a victim of a politically motivated witch hunt orchestrated by his opponents. The mayor's response, while predictable in its assertion of innocence, has done little to address the underlying concerns that led to the initial charges. His decision to promote a book by a controversial figure like Kash Patel further muddies the waters, raising questions about his judgment and potential allegiances. Subscribe to our channel for more updates. This is News Scope, keeping you informed.